Tuesday Drive.
Hey, it's 28 to 6. Have you ever purchased a product or service that just isn't quite right? Each year, the Consumer Watchdog Choice hands out their Shonky Awards. It's still like a bit like our Logies, but instead, this is one award you don't want on your mantelpiece or indeed your social media wall. Marg Rafferty is the choice editor and I know has been on a massive media gauntlet today, so I'm very pleased to be able to welcome her to Tuesday Drive. Hello, Marg.
Hi, Steve.
Well, another year, another 5 awards, hey?
Yes, unfortunately, there's never any shortage of businesses, services, products and industries to name and shame, and it was no different this year.
Well, let's get into it. Who do we name and shame first?
All right, so first off the rank is a product that was particularly popular this year. That was an air purifier. So, as I guess everyone in your listening area would know, there was a lot of smoke in the air at the start of the year for many parts of the country, and air purifiers were a hot item. We tested a whole range of these products in our labs, and unfortunately this one, the Green Tech Pure Air 500, was so abysmal in our lab test that we actually couldn't detect any difference at all when this appliance was run. It was like it may as well not have been switched on. It's $179. It scored 19% in our tests, and our lab guys called it a complete dud. So that's Shonky number 1 and definitely one to avoid. The next one on our list is a credit product. It's Harvey Norman have got this Shonky for the credit card product that is sold through their stores. Now, as you know, you'd be aware, credit cards are complex, legal, financial products, and what we're seeing in lots of examples from our own spot checks and from case studies from community legal centres is people going into Harvey Norman and coming out with really high limit credit cards without any checks. You know, people are coming out of these stores, they haven't had a check on whether they've got steady employment, they don't know if they've got existing debt, they're just walking out with a credit card and getting into real trouble because of those high limits and the amount of debt that they're saddled with. The other thing about this product is that, yes, there may be an interest-free period, but the interest rate is so high, 22.74%, which is hard to justify when we know what the cash rate is. It's a record low, so that's one to watch out for, and one we think Harvey Norman should be not selling anymore.
Can I just with that latitude pay, I mean, I've actually been to another store that uses the latitude system as well. So is it exclusively Harvey Norman, or is it just any major retailer using latitude pay?
Look, that's a really good question. The reason why we're calling out Harvey Norman is because of a loophole in the regulation that was called out in the Banking Royal Commission. Salespeople in store can peddle these products, but we want, and a lot of the community legal centres and other experts want for that loophole to be closed. And Harvey Norman have been very strongly opposed to that. They want it to continue as is. So we think Harvey Norman deserve a Shonky for really failing to act on recommendations here from the Royal Commission and for continuing to peddle this high-interest product.
No, fair enough. Well, Shonky number 3.
This one goes to Invocare. Now, it may not be a name you're familiar with, but Invocare is the company that owns brands such as White Lady Funeral Services, which is a national brand. We investigated the funeral industry quite extensively over the last 12 months or so, and what we found is that there are real issues with pricing. It's can be difficult for people to find out how much things will cost to easily get that information online or even when they call up. And so in response to that, the New South Wales government introduced new rules so that funeral services have to provide that information online or in their showrooms, which is great if you live in New South Wales, and Invocare comply with that in New South Wales. But we think as the big national provider that they are, they can lead the way and provide that information across the country. And currently they don't. If you're in New South Wales, you can get that information. If you're in South Australia or Queensland or anywhere else, not so. So we're calling them out and saying, you know, come on, give grieving people a bit of a break and make it easy for them to get this information.
Just quickly on that, I was reading in one of your past articles when you were looking at this industry. I mean, grief, it plays such a big part in this, doesn't it? I mean, that you basically, I guess, say yes to anything, because I guess you're just not thinking right, are you? You're not thinking straight.
Well, exactly. You know, grief does impair our ability to make decisions as easily as we might if we weren't in that state. And, you know, if you're organising a funeral for a loved one, you want it to be as straightforward as possible. You want to be able to find that information as easily as you can. And we think Invocare should make it easy for people, and they haven't done that.
All right, number 4, Marg.
Number 4 is a company called Revitalife. Now, they sell beds. And the way that they sell them is what we've given them a Shonky for. So they have a system where you fill out a health survey online or maybe over the phone, and then in response they'll send out a salesperson to your house who will tell you that your health issue, whether it's insomnia or back pain or a whole range of other conditions, can be cured by their very expensive bed. The issue that we have is that they seem to target older people who can be quite vulnerable, and we've seen examples of people who have had their home set up by an occupational therapist to address their particular needs. Revitalife come in, sell them a bed that they really don't need, and they're left thousands of dollars out of pocket. It's a really predatory sales system that we think needs to stop.
Well, hopefully they're not using a Latitude credit card to pay for it.
Yeah, we would hope so.
All right. Well, I think we're up to number 5 now, are we?
We are, the final Shonky. So this is for a category of products that we're probably all familiar with. It's for floor cleaners. Now, we tested floor cleaners in our lab against common household product stains and things that you might find in your home. And what we found is that the best performing products scored maybe 1 or 2% better than just water, and the worst performing products actually performed less well than just water alone. So what our testers tell us is that these products are actually floor perfume more than floor cleaner, and they'll make it smell nice, but what's going to get your floor clean is actually the hot water, the mop and your elbow grease. So we reckon floor cleaners deserve a Shonky for being very flawed cleaners.
Oh, Mark, can I just say, when I heard this, I was so upset because I've always been accused in my family as a serial sniffer, and I'm one of those people that will go down the aisle and I will open up every floor cleaner and I will sniff it. I will buy the one that smells the nicest. I was really upset with this Shonky award. You shattered me.
If you like the way it smells, then that's a good enough reason to use it. But just know that all you're doing is make your floor smell nice. It's not the thing that's going to get it clean.
It's just the hot water I need, hey?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, just quickly now, with the products like the air purifier, the floor cleaners, and the beds. Now, the fact that these have received Shonkys under the Australian consumer law, can people then go back to the companies and say, look, these aren't working as advertised? Like, for example, the air purifier in particular.
So, look, we publish quite a lot of information on our site about how to exercise your rights under the Australian consumer law. We think it's really important that people know what they are and what they are entitled to. So yes, absolutely. If you end up with a Shonky product, you have a right to get a refund. If a customer feels that their air purifier is making no difference, that's a good reason to take it back. Use our review to back up the claim. Because if you buy a product, it has to be fit for purpose. If it's faulty or it doesn't do what it says it does, then that's really difficult. Air purifiers, it's a bit of a hard case to prove, obviously, because they tend to act invisibly. You can't see them removing things from the air. But, you might notice, for example, that if someone burns the dinner or gets cooking smells through the house, that your particular air purifier isn't clearing the air as quickly as it should, and even that alone might be enough for you to make a claim.
And just one more question before I let you go, Marg. With the Shonkys that were handed out in 2019, did you find that a lot of them cleaned up their act?
There are... So the Shonkys have been going for 15 years, and over that time we have seen success stories from our Shonkys. It can be quite slow to go, but we have seen success. So, for example, in 2010 we gave a Shonky to Nurofen for some pain relief products that they claimed targeted specific areas of the body and specific types of pain, when really that's not how they work. That's the same Nurofen that you buy that's standard is the same one that they were selling for their migraine pain, for example. So they copped a substantial fine from the ACCC and were ordered to take those products off the shelf. That was a big win that resulted from the Shonkys. Another example would be we gave a Shonky to Qantas back in, I think, 2009 for the very high credit card surcharges that they were applying to booking airfares. One example we saw, they were charging more than 500% of the cost of the ticket in a surcharge. That was a long-running campaign that eventually paid dividends, and you won't get those kinds of high surcharges on credit cards anymore because of the Shonkys. There are other examples too. So, they are very much about saying something needs to be done, let's take action.
Well, Marg, thank you so much for your time today, and hopefully you'll be able to rest up and the media will let you put your feet up for the night until next year.
Thanks, Steve. That's great.
It's been an absolute pleasure. That was Marg Rafferty, Choice Editor. And I wonder if you've ever received a bit of a dud product. Did you use your consumer rights to get a positive outcome? Let me know on 046844 1045. That's 046844 1045.
This is Tuesday Drive.